It's a bright and beautiful morning right here in the FCT. On this note, to welcome you to another exciting edition of your favorite morning show. Good morning, Abuja. It feels so good to be back because it's Monday, yes. And we always we tag our Mondays, money making Mondays, because one of the plans for the week is for you to set out goals on how to achieve financial independence. And talking about finances today on the program, we will be talking about the Finance Act. We're bringing, the CEO of Bratim to expatiate more on the act and what it means for small businesses right here in the FCT as well as Nigeria. My name is Simeon Sunday.
I am Nolin Ebel Ame. Of course, Tijan Ibrahim is going to talk to us on the Finance Act 2020, as Simeon has said. The morning promises to be beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
impactful, interesting.
And money fields, very important. Money fields,
Yes,
because on Mondays, money is very
of
important.
course. And what a good way to start the week, the
Eh,
working week.
exactly.
All right. That's it. We have our motivational talk, which we are going to start the program with, and many other interesting segments on the
Yeah.
program. And we are going to join Asabe Precious Umar. She's going to talk to us this morning on kindness. Kindness. So let's join her.
What does it mean to be kind to others? To be kind means to be good to others. Even animals are good to themselves, after all. To be kind means to put yourself in the position of that person who is down there, who has no help. If you are a CEO, how are you treating your workers? Are you kind to them? Are you considerate? If you own a house help, how are you treating that house help? If your children are going to an expensive school, which school is your house help attending? Take your house help as your firstborn and put them in the same school. That is being kind. And after all, your house help will assist your children, because to be kind is a seed. Whatever you sow, that is what you will reap. If you sow kindness, you will meet kindness. And even if you are out of this world, your own siblings will enjoy the seed of kindness that you planted. To be kind will place you in a position that nobody can imagine. Fulfillment of destiny is not in how many houses I own, whether in Metama, whether in London, whether in New York. Fulfillment of destiny is in how many lives you have touched through your kindness. But if you choose not to be kind, I tell you, you will leave a bad back when you are out of this world. Are you bent on touching lives? Are you bent on being kind? Be kind, because God Himself is kind to you.
With interest in getting young people engaged in democratic governance in Nigeria, the BBC Media Action Programme, supported by the European Union, started the partnership with NTA Channel 5 Abuja 2 years ago. This meeting is to discuss continuation of the project, which was slightly affected by the pandemic.
Since the pandemic, I don't think we've had any serious engagement with the station, but unfortunately we can't continue to use that as an excuse, because if the pandemic is here to stay, we have to find ways to live with it, right? So one of the ways we thought about this is we want to come and discuss with NTA Channel 5 to find out what your preference will be, because we would like to continue with the trainings as we had originally agreed.
In response, the General Manager, NTA Abuja Channel 5, Fatima Abbas Hassan, noted that the interaction with BBC Media Action has recorded remarkable progress. Hence, they will put in their best to ensure the success of the project while adjusting to the new reality.
It has helped us particularly to be on top of our game. I think depending on the situation at that particular time. As it is now, we are trying to cope with the challenges of the second wave of COVID-19. It's very fatal, so everybody is trying to be careful, trying to do the needful. So I think for now, probably we should remain with the online trainings. I think as soon as time permits, we can welcome your people to our premises. We usually have trainings, few people at a time.
Online modules and certificate courses as well as trainings are part of the lineups for the continuation of the partnership.
You're welcome back from that special report. So as to improve the quality of programming and our content, NT Channel 5 Abuja, in partnership with BBC Media Action, will be bringing amazing content to you on this channel. Welcome back. This is still Good Morning Abuja. And now let's move on to the conversation for today. On subsequent edition or previous edition of the show Good Morning Abuja, we have always been touching on the Finance Act because, a lot of people don't even know about the Finance Act, what it pertains, what it literally means to medium and small, businesses in the FCT and in Nigeria at large. And we have taken it as a responsibility to ensure that we educate you and inform you on about this act and what it literally translates to. And today we'll still be talking about that conversation and now getting to understand what this act means for a small business owner. Maybe you have a salon or you have a thriving business, you're into the printing industry. What does this act mean to you as a business owner? Because you need to know about it, especially if you have not been paying your taxes all this while since the inception of the business. So talking about the Finance Act 2020, we have the CEO of Bratim right here. Bratim is a development and consulting firm that help to attend to all your financial needs. We have Tejan Ibrahim right here. Good morning to you, Tejan.
Good morning, Simeon.
And great to have you right back
Yes,
on the program.
yes,
good
pleasure having me. Good morning, madam. Yeah.
Okay, so on several occasions we've talked about the Finance Act, but today I think we'll be getting to touch more on the SMEs and more on the agro-allied businesses and what it's means. So now talking about the Finance Act, there have been various amendments, of this act, and the act basically is to amend various provisions of the Nigerian tax legislation. And the Finance Act touches, it affects both the personal income tax, it's affect the company income tax, even VAT is there, stamp duties is also amendment is also there. Now let's talk about the company income tax and what it means to small scale businesses in Nigeria.
Okay, thank you, and good morning to everyone. Yes, the Finance Act 2020 also need to give you a background. This is an annual thing, which is a good one, and now it follows the budget, and so that every year Finance Act is being changed. Now, the new introduction is that for agribusiness, guys are, they're ready to make money, because for the first 4 years, you don't pay taxes. There's something called pioneer status, so you don't pay any tax at all, company income tax. And then there's also leverage to have additional 2 years. So invariably, you're having 6 years for not paying taxes as agribusiness. So what is part of the economic diversification strategy of the government, because when you have tax holidays, people are actually encouraged to move into that direction. And the second thing, which is not sector specific, is that if you're a small business, you don't pay taxes. Small business from 1 naira to about 25 million turnover, you don't pay taxes. So that means that for agribusiness, you have 6 years tax holiday. If you still remain a small business, you still don't pay taxes till eternity. But don't forget, this Finance Act is annual. So I don't know what is going to happen in 2021.
The provision might
Yeah, it might change. Yes,
Right.
yes, anytime soon. So because it's a strategy to bring everybody into the tax
Has it
list.
been captured in 2021 budget?
Yes. So Finance Act 2020 follow 2021 budget.
Okay.
Finance Act 2021 will follow 2022 budget. The way the act is, because it was actually gazetted, it was actually sent to the National Assembly 2020.
Okay.
And so
Now in the previous budget,
yes.
What is your assessment of the small and medium scale businesses when it comes to tax? What do you call it?
Holidays, incentives.
Yes.
Okay.
So how do you assess the performance?
Honestly, since because the annual finance act actually started in 2019, when we went back to January to December cycle, which is very fantastic. When I was young, that's what we actually used to. My grandmother would be looking, and my grandfather be looking at the budget is going to be passed, as if I don't even know whether he has company or not. But what I'm saying in essence is that, okay, so that finance act 2019 introduced the small business. And Finance Act 2020 did not change it, but added the agro business 4 years and 6 years. Now, I can tell you that I'm not going to be talking about budget performance. I'm going to be talking about the impact on small businesses. Things are changing. No matter how you might think the banditry, insecurity, but the truth is, there's something you can show. When you get to the farm, you just came back from Ibadan, Lagos, I did some things for clients. You be massive in agriculture, massive. So if we are not then in agri, you better remove your suit and go into this agriculture. Things it have made a lot of impact. So that means that I can make so much money, no matter how much I make in the first 6 years, I keep it to myself. That's a lot. So that's made an impact in 2020. Yeah. 2021, we also know that it's going to make further impact, especially for these pioneer startups.
Okay, we've been talking about small businesses, and then we've been talking about being exempted from paying taxes, but we did not stipulate or state the amount, because most people don't know that when you earn between this and this amount, you're exempted from paying taxes. So can you clearly state the amount, so for small businesses they know, okay, as long as you're still earning below this particular amount, you won't pay tax, for as long as you don't earn beyond that amount?
Okay, so for small businesses, the category is 25 million and below. So if your turnover is not profit, your sales is actually 1 naira to 25 million, you don't pay tax. That is zero tax. You are not exempted, though. There's a difference between exempted from zero tax, meaning that it can change. So that's why they put it that way. Zero tax, but what it means is that in actual fact, you are not paying taxes.
Okay, so once you're earning below
25 million
naira as a business,
you are
not paying tax.
You are not paying taxes.
Now, it seems like you just said you came back from Ibadan, and then you've seen what the agro business portends, and the opportunities in it, and why a lot of people need to go into agri business. First of all, you'll be exempted for tax for 4 years. Right?
Yes, agro business
in the Finance Act for agro businesses.
Yes.
Now, talking about the 4 years being exempted, at what point does this 4 years start counting for businesses? Because we know there are agro businesses that have been there long even before this particular Finance Act came into place. So, at what point does this start counting for businesses?
Okay. Yes, that's very, very interesting. So, if I've been in business for more than 6 years, I don't think I qualify, as agri business. But if my turnover is still below 25 million, I qualify as small business. I don't still pay taxes. Now, so where the lacuna, yes, but where the lacuna is, okay, so I've been in business for 2 years, and the act said I'm eligible for 6 years, initial 4 years and additional 2 years. Now, it's expected, so this is my interpretation, because it's not stated in the act. The courts or the chairman of FRS will tell us, what it means. So if I've been in business for 2 years, and the act says I'm eligible for 6 years, so that means that I can only be eligible for next 4 years as agribusiness.
Okay.
Okay. So unless I still fall within the small businesses
where I earn below 25,
where I earn below 25 million.
Okay, still dwelling on what he said about the turnover of 25 million. Perhaps within the 4 years or 6 years time frame, your business tend to grow. So what happens? Would that still the policy be there?
Oh yes, as it is. Agribusiness, there is no cap to the revenue. So 6 years is given to you as agribusiness to promote that sector. So even if my turnover goes to $1 billion, I don't pay taxes. So because there's no cap.
Wow.
There's no cap.
That's interesting.
So, but when your turnover is above the 25 million, you're already sure that after 6 years, you'll be ready to pay taxes.
And at that point, so now let me even ask you, as much
Even
as
if the business didn't grow, you still pay.
No. It has grown. Within this 6 years, let's say the turnover is now 100 or 225. That zero tax won't come after the 6th year.
Okay.
So now let's talk about the agency that's in charge of taxation, which is the Federal Inland Revenue Service. We have other states having their own replication of the state level. Now, how will they, get to know that this is what this business earns? And you're eligible to pay tax at this point and not this point, because we've seen and heard a lot of people evading taxes. Some are trying as much as possible to avoid paying the tax. Some will even bring down the figures so it doesn't meet up to that amount, so they can keep evading this tax. So how will the revenue service agency get to know that, okay, this business is eligible for tax and they're due for taxation?
Okay. The truth is that the system has actually been improved. The FRS, Federal Revenue Service, which is responsible solely for company income tax. State is not responsible for company income tax. They can only do payee personal income tax. Now, what they've done is they're working with the banks. They actually can pull your transaction. Anybody, any company, they can pull your transactions from the bank. They know what comes into your bank account, what goes out from the bank account. That's the truth. Yeah. However, because as an accountant, I know that it's not everything that comes to your bank that actually is a revenue.
True.
So you can sell assets and pay it into your bank account. It's not your revenue. You can only pay profit for selling those assets. Okay, so they will now come for, if they suspect that there's a foul play somewhere, based on what you've actually reported and what they can able to pull out. That's why they have tax audit. So they will write to you and say, okay, we're coming. Give us record from 2016, like when 2021 now. So they'll be auditing they can be auditing from 2015 to 2019 or 2015 to 2018. So give us your bank statement, give us your receipt, you've reported to us that this is what you made. So it can't be changed. We have it. So we're starting from there. So give us all of this without actually, and they're very professional these days, to be honest with you. You're unlike the olden days that they will feel like a king, come to our office, you understand, like, so they are a bit friendly, much more friendly, really. So they tell you that, okay, so we have not said that you've evaded tax, but we just want to check what you are submitted to us, whether it is correct. It's possible that we may even be owing you.
All right. Now, at the local level, let's look at local governments now. We have people that are assigned to collect taxes here and there in the marketplaces, small businesses and the rest. How is government checking this in order not to violate what they have stated concerning?
That's why the government is actually looking at, okay, the IGR drive is actually a public-private partnership. So if government can't do it, that's the truth, or they can't do it alone. If your government staff themselves want to go to the market and collect, the reporting, what they're going to be reporting is likely to be very minimal. But if you call the private sector and give him a target, from this market, I expect 1 billion in a year. The guy negotiate and say, okay, I can deliver 500 million. If he doesn't get all the 500 million for that market, he must pay that 500 million. And the government can plan using the 500 million. So what government is actually trying to do now is working with the private sector. So as we are working with some state government, we're working with the Federal Revenue Service. So just to make sure that, okay, some of the things, because we're out there, there's a way we're actually going to undo things. It's going to be different from there.
So Tijan, before we allow you go, this question is very important that we ask this. As much as we know the government is trying to improve the economy and give tax holidays to business, so a lot of people can go into businesses, generate more money, and grow the economy. This tax holidays, looking at it critically and understanding the fact that if your annual gross, turnover is about 25 million, you don't get to pay tax. Let's say I don't have the statistics, I don't have the data here. I'm not from the MBS, but we know that small businesses are actually what is actually growing the economy.
More than
There
50%.
are so many small,
Sure.
medium and medium businesses all around Nigeria.
And they're much in Nigeria.
And
Yes.
now there's so much, considering all those businesses being given such tax holidays. Wouldn't this really affect the economy of the country as much as we're trying to make life easy for businesses?
Okay, in terms of affecting the economy, I would say positively. The truth is, encourage the guy to be in business, the economy will actually grow itself. We're talking about development. We're not talking about growth in revenue collection. What does the revenue collection, where does it go? Okay, so you saw the tax dialogue. okay, they were able to achieve 98% of the target. So ask me. So it has gone to federation accounts. Which impact has it made on the infrastructure? But if you leave it in the hands of these small businesses, they will expand. And what it means is that you now see people actually living heavier, living well. That's what we call a standard of living. I'm not talking about you just put a statistic. Somebody said revenue has increased by 100%. Has it resulted into development? It does not. But leave it into the hands of the people. You will see development. I'm an advocate of, people not evading taxes and all of that, but at the same time, give them enabling environment. Why are the guys running to you? You have the skyrocket, sky building 100, because they don't pay company income tax at all. So in the next 30 years, don't pay. So I'm bringing my money. So encourage guys to actually set up the businesses.
That would still tell on the government.
No. You don't tell. Why I say it won't tell? Let me tell you. When you see businesses actually setting up, when you have this, it's easy for you to say, you are not paying taxes. This road, how many businesses are on this lane? Okay, why can't all of you come together? Because you still see their revenue. Not that you won't send returns, though. I will still see that you're actually making profit. So why not fix this road? And I can come with that when they see that government has also extended, a gesture. Over the 5 years, extended gesture. It's easier for you to negotiate. The trust in government, there's a loss of trust. But that can bring out the trust. If you always beat your child, they won't come to you. I'm your father. Don't forget it. You can only do that before it's 12 years. But after 12 years, what have you done to me? So that's how it is.
Thank you so much again, Brian, for coming to talk about, the Finance Act and what it loosely translates, for small, medium businesses during this particular time. It's been a great conversation with you. Hopefully, we get to have you more on the program. Talking about the Finance Act and tax evasion, please don't evade your tax. If you know you're eligible for tax payments, ensure you pay your taxes to the Federal Inland Revenue Service. And more coming for you on Good Morning Abuja. But first, let's go on a quick break.
Nàìjíríà yìí ti gbogbo wa ni kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sí ibòmíràn tí a lè lọ àjò lè dàbí ilẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan gbé kémi gbé. Ó yẹ kájọ ṣàṣàrò ló dára ká finú inú ká fi kún lókun kí Nàìjíríà kó lè tẹ̀síwájú. Ogun ọ̀tẹ̀ yìí ti tó ká gbàgbé ìjà ẹlẹ́yàmẹ̀yà Haúsá Ìgbò pẹ̀lú Yorùbá ṣe láṣàjọjì ìjà òmìnira ni a tún mára wọn jà èdìrẹ́ ogun èṣù yìí gbé kájọ gbé. Ó yẹ kájọ gbé. Kémi gbé. Ó yẹ kájọ gbé. Yéṣu. Kémi gbé. Nàìjíríà yìí ti gbogbo wa náà. Ó máa gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́. Torí kò sí ibòmíràn tí a lè lọ. Àjò lè dàbí ilẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọwọ́pọ̀ ká fìmọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Gbé kémi gbé. Ọmọ ìyá kan náà ṣàlàjẹ́ ìjà lóde torí lòwe. Nípa ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú wa èyí ló kó bá gbogbo wa ló kó bá ọrọ̀ ajé wa. Torí kò má lè ṣe kí ìjà máa wà ìjàmbá ti tó kábàárì àlùyà. Torí àwọn ọmọ wa tí ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn kí la fẹ́ sọ pé àgbélé ayé ṣe gbé kájọ gbé bóyá kájọ gbé gbé kémi gbé bóyá kájọ gbé gbé kémi gbé nàìjíríà yìí ti gbogbo wa ní kó máa gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́ torí kò sí òmíràn.
Yes, Nigeria yìí ti gbogbo wa ni, which means, Nigeria is ours and it mustn't, loosely, when they say ko ma gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́, that means it mustn't spoil. That's what it means loosely. But what it means is we should grow our country, grow our economy in the best way we can. King Sunny Ade with that amazing piece of music. And away from music, now let's check out fashion. Yes, it's been a while we've not talked about fashion on the Good Morning Abuja, but today let's see what our fashion people have to say and what fashion statement is trendy now in 2021. It's been a fantastic conversation on Good Morning Abuja today, the Money Making Monday edition of the program. I hope you've learned a thing or two with all the conversations that we have had talking about the Finance Act and what it means for small businesses in Nigeria.
Of course, today's episode was just like
Really amazing. Special thank you to our guest, the main guest who came forward today, to Jan Ibrahim, the CEO of Bratim. It's been a wonderful conversation and it's been great having you on the other side of the TV, having a great time with us on this program. Let's do this tomorrow, okay? The
Yes.
Tuesday edition of the show. And always remember, Tuesday is always our, old school
school.
Tuesdays. So for those who want to jig into old school vibes, I know there are some daddies, mummies
Mummies.
who have not heard some songs because of new school guys have come, and then it seems like
Nobody's
our
left
old
out
school.
of this program,
It
Simeon.
seems, it seems like our old school generation are missing out on things. So you don't want to miss tomorrow's edition because we'll be going all the way back. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag so you don't
Yeah.
anticipate what we have for you. But
It
just be sure
promises to be interesting.
we have amazing programming for you. Thank you so much for sticking around. And from my humble self, Simeon Sunday, I'm saying bye.
I am Nolin Evel Ame joining Simeon to say bye bye and have a lovely day ahead.